This video is made possible by the EA Creator Network. Hey guys, my name is Angelia and welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new build. And again, a huge thank you to the EA Creator Network for providing me with the early access so I could actually, get my hands on this new pack early. The software is not final, just as an FYI. But anyways, I decided I really wanted to build a ranch with the new pack. I had started building it prior to recording because I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. I was just trying to get like a layout going and see like where I wanted to kind of put things. And then I wound up getting kind of attached to it. So that's why you're kind of seeing it already in progress. But it was a lot of me like fiddling around with stuff. So you guys didn't really miss too much. But I wanted to make it like a really full looking ranch. So right now it looks like I'm building the exterior for like a ranch hand house, which was my idea, but like they can't actually stay with you. So it's just basically like a little guest house. Like if you had a guest room in your house or whatnot. It does have a bed and all that fun stuff. But yeah, so I'm like struggling with doors here. I do end up like shifting stuff around for this quite a bit. But honestly, I enjoyed building in this pack so much more than I thought I was going to. It's really hard for me to build with like just base game in one pack, by the way, because I'm so used to having like my season stuff and all of that, because I was like, oh my gosh, this would look great here, but I can't use it because I don't have it right now. But I am looking forward to actually plopping this into my normal game and adding those things that I was really wanting to add. I was struggling with half walls there. I don't know. I was really struggling to like make this work. And then I kind of figured out what I wanted to do with it. So it winds up working out pretty well for us. But yeah, I really love the wood textures, especially in this pack. Like the textures are really, really nice. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. Yeah, I thought the chimney was just too tall. So I wound up like fixing it this way because I couldn't get it to let me move stuff with the roof in the way, so I had to kind of shift things around. But overall, I'm very happy with how this turned out. I haven't done like a speed build in a while, so I feel like kind of out of my element right now. I build all the time, but sometimes speed builds give me anxiety because I'm like, oh my god, I gotta make sure this is perfect because I don't want people to watch me struggling for like 30 minutes on one piece, because that's usually how my builds go, is that I end up struggling for a bit and then figuring it out. But overall, I think it turned out quite nice. I really wanted this kind of vast array of things being on this ranch. I wanted every piece from the new gameplay stuff, especially for this pack, to be here. So we do have like a winery thing, or rather the little stomping thing that you make the nectar with. And I was just trying to kind of figure out placements and all of that, because I'm really into like placements being like perfect and like liking the way that it looks, if that makes sense. I don't know how else to describe it, but like I guess the aesthetic of how things are placed together, and in like adjacent to one another and stuff like that. You're gonna see me use a lot of these plants. I do end up using a lot from live edit objects, which I'm so used to using the mod now that it was so weird having to type it in again. But yeah, I end up using a lot of objects, and right now I'm just kind of placing stuff that I know I want on the lot, which is what I usually do when I build, is I just kind of plop stuff down where I know I'm going to use it, or if I even had like the thought of using it, it's there for me to just kind of grab. But yeah, I'm very proud of how this came out. Big lots are always such a challenge to do because there's so much space you have to fill in, and this is again where I think like cottage living would come in handy in terms of adding more things and like adding cows and stuff like that. I feel like that would really make this a little bit more well-rounded, and I'm excited to get this into my actual game, and maybe modify it a little bit with some stuff from like seasons and cottage living, and things of that nature. This will end up being up on the gallery as soon as the pack actually comes out, because I can't do it until then. But I'm very proud of this build, personally. Now, there are going to be, you do need to have have move objects turned on in order to place this lock, 'cause obviously I'm clearly using it every so often here, especially when I end up starting to place the plants. There's a lot of move objects going on. But the build items in this pack are actually really, really gorgeous. Also, that box you can store the horse manure in. So I was like, I'm just gonna put this here. I'm also really proud of this little area that we're starting on right now, which I kind of made into like a little mini vineyard. So I decided to put in planter boxes because you can use existing fruits and stuff to make your nectar. So I wanted to have like a little section that you could actually go ahead and start planting stuff and getting that going for you. Yeah, so I wanted to keep it kind of simple in there just in case, like, you know, you're not super into planting and stuff, but there is plenty of room in here for your Sims to get past and like into the row, so they're not like, I can't get over there. I love these little things, these little grapes on the vines. I think they're beautiful and they add such a nice touch for like this little vineyard area I did. I just thought they were stunning, so this is probably one of my favorite parts of this build, is this little area right there. Because it's just so pretty with the lights in the archway, and then, you know, the little grapes over there. It's super nice. It looks like I might have been looking at something off camera just now, just judging by the fact that that wasn't moving. You're gonna see me doing that a lot. I was kind of referencing some photos. I had up like a little diagram of the Yellowstone Ranch. I was kind of looking at that just to kind of see where, you know, they placed certain things, which obviously it's definitely not emulating that. I needed it for reference. I'm a very visual person, so that kind of helps me when I'm building. I do end up, do I move that jumping thing? I think I do. I think I end up moving it into the middle of the backyard because I wanted that whole area to kind of just have like the balls for the horses and stuff like that for them to play with. I don't know why, but I really liked those rock pieces that you just saw me place in the, like, in front of the gate. I thought it looked nice. I will say that I do end up skipping quite a bit in this build, so you'll see like the house being not done and then it'll suddenly be done. And that's because this video is going to be insanely long. Okay, so I had over 3 to 4 hours worth of footage. And trying to squish that down into one video that's not like an hour long was really difficult because I didn't want to make it so fast that it made anyone dizzy. So this was about as fast as I was willing to go in terms of speeding it up. So if you see things like suddenly being finished, that's why, which is fine. But yeah, you know, I figured like certain things like furnishing and stuff, you guys don't need to see every little detail of it. Especially if you do end up downloading it, you'll see it in your game and all that fun stuff. But I'm very proud of this build. I tried to put in a lot of foliage here and there, but I did leave a lot of open space, specifically for the reason of being able to add stuff in from other packs once this one actually officially comes out. Because there were some things, like I said before, that I did want to add. Now inside, I did struggle with the layout a little bit, so I believe I end up doing the layout off camera because I was getting really frustrated. For some reason, layouts for me are the hardest to do now. Landscaping and stuff, cool. I love doing landscaping. I think I'm pretty decent at it. I like doing roofing, which I know is weird because most people hate roofing, but I like doing roofing. It's a weird like, I'll admit. But yeah, interior and we kind of struggle. We don't see eye to eye. But I do think it turned out decent. Again, I kind of left it a little bit simplified because I didn't want to overly clutter anything inside the house. That way you're actually able to utilize it and not just have it there as like a showpiece, you know? So like, if you do want to download it, it is very usable. I have kind of play tested it a little bit. It looks like most things so far are fairly usable. Like your Sims shouldn't be waving their arms, but if they do, I apologize. I did my best. I'm trying to find a tree right there that would actually fit because I was kind of struggling with that. As you can see, I do have live edit objects on now. Just, you know, so you're not having to like pay for the plants. And you get a bigger variety of objects so I can just kind of plunk around to make it look more lived in. I do wish that little water pump worked. I think that'd be really cute, but it did come from live edit objects, so I don't think he works, which makes me a little bit sad. But you know, I kind of wanted to have this feeling of like overgrown grass right there. And like that little tractor thing doesn't work anymore and they're, you know, trying to fix it type of thing. So I just kind of put some grass over there. I will end up filling in a lot of space, well not a lot, but like a decent amount of space with some prairie grass so that you'll have plenty of it to harvest, you'll have plenty of it to grow for your horses and all of that because I really wanted to make sure that that was taken care of. Because I think one of the lots I was playing on earlier, it didn't have a ton of prairie grass, and I really liked being able to hand feed them, so that was kind of what that boiled down to, is I really liked that interaction, so I wanted to make sure there was plenty of it. I believe I ended up putting down 2 little grape stomping things over there, just so you know, if the fam wants to join in on the fun, they can. I struggled with that space right there. I do end up closing it off again because it was frustrating me. Initially, I was going to place the door to the backyard there, but the door didn't quite fit in that spot, so I decided against it. Yeah, it looks like I'm starting on the house now, or at least trying to pick a door. Here I was matching the wood color, just making sure that wood matched the other wood, because I hate when my stuff doesn't match, okay? It drives me bonkers. I'm like, no, this has to match and look okay. I did grab a lot of fences. I wanted to do a fire pit. I will say the Sims, as of right now, they're super obsessed with like fire pits and fireplaces, so be careful with that if that sticks. Because they like use it nonstop. That's all they think about. That's all they do is play with the fire all the time. But I really wanted to include a fire pit so like your Sims could hang out in and like at night and stuff like that, have like a nice little bonfire together. I mismatched all the chairs and stuff because I felt that that was more realistic to kind of make it not match. I was really trying to, oh gosh, this whole saga, I should have cut this out. I was trying so hard to like make a cute little like fenced in area where they can just sing like Kumbaya and stuff, and it just looked weird. So everything you're seeing me doing right now, I get rid of. Because I wound up not liking it at all. It's going to be a much faster process for you guys to see it than it actually was for me to make it. This was about a 20 to 30 minute project for me. And I ended up getting rid of it because I hated it. It wasn't a terrible idea, but it didn't look good. So yeah, it doesn't stick. Yeah, see, it just looks a little disjointed, and I wasn't a huge fan of it. I wanted it to look kind of like man-made and stuff. I was even trying to put that little arch thingy over on top of it, and it was not working. I kept also trying to figure out a place for that little arch thing, and I couldn't. It ends up going away because it wasn't realistic for me. It just didn't quite fit what I was going for. Yeah, I'm like plopping down some prairie grass, trying to make it look a little bit more natural as it sits there. I do end up using that little wooden arch though. That bridge, I couldn't grab it. It's like the little grabber went away. I couldn't do anything with it. So I had to like put something next to it to be able to delete it because it would not leave me alone. I wanted to use it, but I'm like, not if I can't move it, because I know I'm going to end up moving it like 1,000 more times. But yeah, here I'm clearing out for more play balls and stuff like that for the horsies. And I moved the little jumping thing in there. I decided to get rid of some of the fencing, so I was like, I'm never going to use this. It's like, because as pretty as the white fencing was, it doesn't match the kind of more brown motif I was going for. So I ended up getting rid of that. Looks like I'm starting on terrain paint a little bit. I think I actually do the terrain paint before I do the interior of the house. I always like to put some brown down because I feel like the brown just kind of mutes the bright freaking green a little bit. I really wanted to kind of create some little dirt pathing here. I ended up fixing that, by the way, don't worry. I decided I didn't like how bulbous that like middle section was. Looks like I'm trying to figure out how I want to outline the path, and I decided I didn't like that. There we go, now it looks better. Yeah, it wasn't quite working. I'm not very good with the whole drawing thing when it comes to like terrain paint, but I thought that was a good idea, so I did grab kind of like the stones and stuff, and I cleaned that up a little bit. Yeah, I'm just testing out like different pathing here. Yeah, I think I end up sticking with those. And we line it with flowers and stuff like that to kind of cover up my drawing mess ups because I'm not very good. I think the pathing actually turned out really nice. Like once you see it in the final product, I quite like it. But I kind of wanted it to look really kind of lived in and, you know, a dirt path and, you know, it gets worn from walking it constantly type of thing. So I think I did a pretty good job of that. Yeah. Looks like I am finishing up that section. I think I end up fixing something here though. Do I start the plants now? It looks like I do because I think I was already upset with myself by how like disjointed some of the lines were. So I was like, I gotta start this now. I've been in this thing where I really like lining up my pathways with flowers. I just feel like A, it covers up mistakes, and B, it just looks really nice. At least I think so. Usually I would grab like rocks or something, but I decided to like just kind of intermittently put in some pathway flowers. And plus with it being like kind of patchy in terms of placement, to me that feels more realistic for a ranch. Like it's not going to be perfectly lined with hedgerows and all of that because these are ranchers. You know, they're going to have like nice stuff, yeah, but it's going to look kind of, you know, like natural, I guess. Yeah, I decided to put in mostly yellow with some pops of color of the red and the purpley pink color. Just to keep it kind of interesting, but also keep it cohesive here. Again, covering up my messed up lines. No one asked me to draw for you because it's not going to be a good idea. Although I do really want to learn to start drawing, but we'll get there when we get there. Yeah, I decided to put this fountain there that I believe that's from Live Edit, but it does actually work because I've played this a lot in live mode and it does work pretty well. So it should be okay. What you won't see in this build is I do end up going back and placing like outside lights because I completely forgot about outdoor lights. So you will see me go back. Well, you won't see me, but if you download this build, there will be lights. I do also decorate kind of like behind the barn a little bit. That you won't see in this video because again, in the essence of saving time in the video, I was like, this isn't as important as seeing like the bulk of the build and like the interior and stuff like that. But don't worry, but most of this a lot is completely furnished and decorated. Should be move-in ready. There are a few bedrooms. I believe there's 3 in the main house, and then the little guest house, ranch house has 1 bedroom. Because obviously I made it in mind of having the ranch hand move in, but they can't really actually move in. So it's just a guest house, but it's the thought that counts. But there is like a kitchen, a bathroom, and a bedroom. Oh yeah, it looks like I might be getting closer to doing the inside, but still distracted by the outside. Again, I really like building shells lately. It's funny because when I started building, I really enjoyed doing the interiors. I thought that was so much fun, and now I'm like, wow, I love landscaping. It's like my calling in The Sims. I just think it's so much fun. Especially to kind of see what I can do in terms of making shelves and roofing and all that fun stuff. I was trying to figure out where to put this grill, and I believe I extend the porch out. That dance floor, I was like, this looks weird just sitting by itself, so I build like a little structure for it to sit on, because I was like, let's just build something for it. And it fit perfectly on the first try. You know, I kind of wanted to make it kind of cute. We raised up the platform a little bit and put in some stairs. It should work. I have not actually play tested the dance floor as of yet, so if it doesn't, I do apologize. But it looks nice, and that's kind of what's important here. And I put in those little beams so it would be held up and everything. And I did grab that thing. I can't remember the name of it. Sorry, I've been recording like all day. I recorded the first video for this pack earlier, and now I'm recording this. So I'm a little bit out of breath and my throat hurts and all that fun stuff. But anyway, I believe I don't end up using those more brownish color plants that you see off to the left on the bottom. Yeah, I just kind of stick with like the naturally green colors. And you will see me put in some more prairie grass here and there, like just to kind of fill in space. Again, I was still trying to find a spot for that, and then I found it, and I was like, oh, this is the perfect spot for it. So I just kind of add in a few more flowers and fill in that space quite nicely. Just kind of erase that little pathing just so it's kind of opened up, and then you see a little bit more dirt kind of spreading out there. Again, I wanted it to look lived in, and like ranchers actually live in this place and have spots and stuff like that. And to me that would mean like worn paths and like the dirt kind of spreading over the grass and stuff. And by the way, you can decorate these signs, so like the little emblems and stuff like that, you can just pop onto here anywhere you want. That's kind of why I was doing it here, which I think is nice, that you can just kind of decorate it to fit your ranch. So if you just have like baby sheep, you can just put a little sheep on there and stuff like that. I think it's really cute. At least I think it's cute. Yeah, how long have I been talking? I'm like running out of air here. This video is going to be quite long. It's gonna be probably around like 40 minutes, which again is actually short considering how much footage I had of this build. Again, you're gonna see little skips, or you may not see something at all being put into this build, and that's simply in the essence of time, because I was running out in terms for this video, because I know like not everyone wants to sit here for 40 minutes watching a video, but unfortunately that's how long this one is going to be, because it's a huge build. And I'm very proud of it. I didn't really want to separate it. Initially I was going to. I was like, you know what? We're just gonna squish it all into one video. I don't want anyone having to wait for like the final part or just posting it right after and then like, you know. Anyway. I was also struggling with rugs because I'm so used to having my other rugs. I was looking for the laundry day ones specifically because I thought they would fit perfectly. That, and I really love those rugs. But I didn't have them. So I was struggling with my rug usage, but it turns out nice, I think. I was trying to initially kind of put those over there, and I was like, no, I think it's gonna look better if it's over actually in like the winery area. I don't know why I was trying to place the second one over there instead of just putting it next to the other one, but I did put in some more planter boxes just in case, you know, anyone wants to grow something else. We put the barrels over there. That way, the horses can roam around the backyard. They're not just kind of stuck in their little pen. I mean, they're not anyway, but at least now the activities are kind of spread out so they can interact with the family and all that fun stuff. I did put a barrel down just so I could put like a little speaker there so your Sims could dance to it. I thought that was a nice touch, personally. And I'm trying to like fit these fences in because I like kind of like the broken look of fences sometimes just kind of being plopped around. I decided to put in some monkey bars for kids just in case, and put in some more activities for Sims, including like the little bike. I ended up putting like a little porch area and stuff. I do think it turned out nice though. But I think I'm going to leave the rest of this to music because I'm running out of things to say and talk about aside from the build, and I don't want to leave it with like a lot of long awkward silences on my part and me just being like the entire time. But I thoroughly enjoy the build buy in this pack a lot, and I really love painting the ceilings. Just by the way, it's fantastic. I love it. A lot of the windows are super nice. Oh, it looks like my doors broke on the barn. I love when it does that, by the way, and then you have to like click on it. There we go, I fixed it. Yeah, I think the house itself turned out really nice. There is a big space in the middle of like the front of the house once I finish, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it this way because eventually a family will move in and I'll have seasons and stuff like that, so I can like put a Christmas tree here and whatnot. So I think it'll be nice for like activities, I guess, in the future, just to have like a kind of open space instead of having to shuffle things around. You'll have spots to put like a drawing table or what have you in the room. I will say the kids' room is a little bit of a funky shape because it's that upstairs right there that I just put the window on. So it has a little bit of a weird shape, but I think it turned out pretty cute. I'm biased because I built it, but I do think it turned out nice. Also, the roofing tiles are all new. That chimney is new. The windows are all new. The doors are new. The floors, the walls, everything is new. The stairs. I really enjoyed the build objects. They are fantastic. So if you are a builder and like that's your main reason for getting this pack, 10 out of 10 get this pack because the building is fantastic in it. Yeah, I can't recommend that enough. I had a lot of fun doing this. I think the first day I was building for like 6 hours straight. Which again, you're not seeing the footage of that. That was mostly me trying to make the layout plans and like, do I like this, the way this lot is laid out? Then I figured out, yes, I do like it, and that's what you're seeing right now, is the end result of that. You'll see me put in like some rocks and stuff like that as little decorations and such. Like how I said, I was like, I'm gonna end this here, and I just keep talking. It happens. I did put in little mailboxes because I was like, you know, we're just gonna pretend that it could be a ranch hand that lives there, and they would all have separate mailboxes. That would make sense to me, right? I don't know, listen, my husband and I watch a lot of Yellowstone, so that's like where my entire basis comes from, because I'm not like super into cowboys or anything like that. And in real life, horses kind of terrify me. But that's literally like my entire basis of how I did this was Yellowstone. It's a great show, so I think it's okay. I'm doing a little more terrain paint, it looks like. I really like terrain paint. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it makes it look like more lived in to me and more natural, and I don't know. I feel like it helps to round out a build. But anyway, I really am going to set the rest of this to music. There isn't that much time left. I think it's like 15-ish minutes. But I hope you enjoyed this build. Again, it will be on the gallery as soon as the pack drops and I'm able to get to my computer. I will make sure to upload it for you guys. I'll probably post on the YouTube channel in the community tab once it's actually up there if you guys want to download it. This does fit on the 64x64 lot. I'm sure it would fit in just fine with Henford on Bagley as well if you want to put it there. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and again a huge thank you to the EA Creator Network for allowing me to play this early. I truly appreciate it. I'm super grateful and it's been a lot of fun so far. I hope you have a magical day and I will see you guys next time. Bye!